Well, hi you guys, welcome back to the Kneady Homesteader channel, and this is a video I have been wanting to refilm for a long time. You guys have a canning video, canning my barbecue sauce from way back when. I've made it and I filmed it in this house but never canned it. So today we are going to make a double big batch. And off camera, I'm going to do this again after we're done. I'm going to put up quite a bit of barbecue sauce today in my pantry, so we are ready to go this summer. But I wanted to get a new video, not only making it with you, but canning it. So I wanted a good amount to can with you guys. All right, so we are making and canning my Sweet Baby Kneady. That's what I'm going to call it. It's almost like Sweet Baby Ray's, but it's got a little Kneady in it. So this video that I made ages ago has, I don't know, I think it's almost 300,000 views. It's one of your favorite recipes. It's definitely one of mine, and we're going to be making it together today. Okay, so I have a list here of my original canning video, but doubled the recipe. My original canning video, which I will leave a link up above. You can go and check that out. I want to say that might be 9 years old now, maybe 10. That recipe made 5.5 pints. The half pint, I put in my fridge, or I think I used it up, and the other 5 I put in my pantry. This time around, I would love to get 11 pints in my pantry, and if I can, then I'll be canning this again right after I film this, and I'm going to be putting up, I'm hoping, at least 20 jars. That's what my goal is, at least 20 pints. So we are going to go by this list, because I'm just going to assume if you guys are going to can it, you're going to want to put a nice amount up for the summer as well. So this is what we're going to be using. So this is 8 cups of ketchup, okay, 6 cups of brown sugar, and we went ahead and we made homemade brown sugar. I will leave a link to that video up above where I show you how I make my homemade brown sugar. We are going to be using 3 cups of molasses, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. I'm using the Bragg's Organic. We are going to be using 6 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 8 tablespoons of ground mustard. I prefer the dried mustard over the liquid, but it's up to you. I just say if you're a canner, or if you make a lot of your own sauces and mixes, go ahead and invest in some ground mustard. I buy it in a big batch like this from a store called GFS, Gordon Food Service, and that's how I buy mine. Okay, to that we're going to be adding 3 tablespoons of smoked paprika, along with 3 tablespoons of the sweet or regular paprika. I don't like it too smoky, but you need a little bit of the smoke in order to make it taste similar to Sweet Baby Ray's. We're also going to be using 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, which is right over here. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated onion. That is not in the original recipe, but over the past 10 years I have tweaked it a bit. 2 tablespoons of chili powder. Now you can add cayenne if you want it hot, but Sweet Baby Ray's is not a hot barbecue sauce, so we're not doing that. Again, make it your own. I'm big into making the sauce the way that you like it. We are going to stick with the regular just chili powder, so 2 tablespoons of that. In the past 10 years, I've also added a tablespoon of the pepper flakes. My family just likes the little bit of kick that it adds, but it's not a lot. It's still very, very kid friendly, so you know, leave that out if you do not want to add that. You don't need that. We're going to be adding 4 tablespoons of canning salt, because we are canning this. And I'm also going to be adding 2 tablespoons of freshly ground black pepper. I gave my grinder quite the workout. So there it is. There's all the ingredients. That's all. And you might want to screenshot that. I will put this down in the description box. and brown sugar. Okay, so now I'm going to get you up on the tripod and we're going to get all of this going. Do you want to add that I have all of my canning goodies out? This is sitting in very hot water. Please wash your lids. Don't take them out of the box dirty. Those, the plastisol that's on these lids, whew, that's hot, attracts rodents and cockroaches. So wash your lids. I see so many people just using lids right out of the box. Please wash them. Also, don't use rusty bands. You're going to want to wash them. Use clean. You don't want to put rust by your food. So, and food evacuates out of that lid when we're canning it. So, nice clean rings. If you take care of them and you wash them after a canning process and you dry them, they're going to last you a long time. But they're only tin, and so if they end up getting rusty, just replace them. They're inexpensive. And then we're going to have our canning jars in hot boiling water. They're sterilizing. I've got 8 in there. I've got more on the side, but we'll do 8 together. And then when I turn off this camera, I'm gonna kick out some canning. All right, I'm gonna get you up on the tripod and let's get started. Into the pot, I've got 4 cups of ketchup here. I've got to get another 4, so we have a total of 8 going in. Okay, so here's the second one. Now, I have a very little bit left in this big container, and I got this big container at GFS. I want to say maybe I have a half a cup in here, so I'm just going to throw it in here because I don't want to put this in my fridge. And a little extra isn't going to hurt this recipe at all. So, I get out all of that. Now, to this, I'm going to be adding 6 cups of packed brown sugar. It doesn't need to be homemade, but the homemade is so much better. So if you've never made your own, it's like, oh, it's night and day. And for anyone who now makes their own, they will attest to that. So 6 cups of brown sugar going in. Now, 6 cups of brown sugar is in. Now 3 cups of molasses. Okay, and then we're adding 2 cups of I'm using the organic apple cider vinegar, but you don't have to use organic if you don't want it. Then we're adding 6 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. 1. Then goes in 8 tablespoons of ground mustard, 3 tablespoons of smoked paprika, and 3 tablespoons of the sweet paprika. Okay, then 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, 2 tablespoons of granulated onion, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of pepper flakes, but you don't have to add that if you don't want. Okay, and then 4 tablespoons of canning salt, 2 tablespoons of freshly grated black pepper, and we're going to turn this on the heat and get this all stirred in. And I'm probably too going to go grab, I'm going to grab my whisk here. My Danish whisk to start off with. And just kind of get this incorporated in. Once I've got it all mixed, I'm going to go ahead and take my regular whisk. And get it mixed in here. Okay, now you're not going to taste it yet because it's not going to taste like barbecue sauce just yet. what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring this now up to a low simmer. Then you're gonna taste it and you're gonna tweak it the way you like it. If you want it a little sweeter, add a little bit more sugar. If you want it a little deeper and richer, add a little bit more molasses. You want to add a little bit more garlic, a little bit more pepper flakes, a little bit more salt. Tweak it to the way that you like it to taste, okay? This is just my base, but I want you to make it your own, okay? All right, once this gets simmering, I'll bring you back. We'll have a quick taste test, and then we'll get to canning it. So excited! I want to make a note. You can add up to 1.5 cups of water to this. So depending on how thick you like it. This isn't too thick to can without the water, but some people like a thinner barbecue sauce. Some people use it with a brush and put it on their chicken on the grill, you know, put it on their hamburgers, put it on their pork chops, whatever you want to do it on. So if you want it thinner, you can add up to 1.5 cups of water to this without it diluting the recipe too much. You definitely don't want to make it watery, but I don't add any water to it. I just keep it just like this. All right, I'll bring you back. It's starting to come up to a simmer. I did taste it. I'm going to add just a little bit more brown sugar, probably here 1/2 cup. Fill it halfway here. And that's probably because I had a little bit extra barbecue or ketchup. So I'm just going to offset it a little bit with some extra brown sugar. And that should remedy that. It's so important to taste before you, especially if you're canning it. Because you don't want to can it up in a jar and then you open up the jar and you don't like it, or it tastes off, or it's missing something. So always taste like your jam, jelly, barbecue sauce, whatever it is that you're canning. My sauce has come up to a nice little simmer, and I've just been simmering it for about 10 minutes just so that all the flavor can kind of merge. Again, taste it, tweak it, add what you think needs a little more, a little less, and then we'll be ready to get this into jars. Okay, I'm gonna set you up here. Woo! And we're gonna get started. Go ahead and take my barbecue sauce now off the heat. I've got 8 pints in my Ball electric water bath canner, which I love using for canning. All right, I'm gonna set the jar there. I like to have a little jar here to set my funnel on so I don't get my workspace dirty. Cleanliness next to godliness. And a place to hold my debubbler, okay? So now, make sure everything's washed and cleaned. And actually, I'm gonna just move you, I'm gonna move you a little close. Ooh, that's hot. But if you can a lot, you probably have, you know, hands like leather like mine now. All right, I'm gonna set that a little off to the side there. This out of my way here. I've got a little dish here of straight vinegar to clean the rims. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go ahead and give this a stir. And we're gonna fill our jars to a 1/2 inch headspace. And if you end up making this and canning this, please come back and let me know. Now I use the jar to let me know when I'm at that 1/2 inch headspace. So if you don't know, I will show you quickly on this jar here. So you've got these little rims here, these little screw-on little bars there, whatever you call them, and you will notice, let me get you focused, that there's 3 of them. There's a top one, a middle one, and then of course your bottom one. Can we have that? Yeah, there we go. The middle one is your 1/2 inch. So the top one will be your 1/4 inch. That'll be all of your, I'm sorry, my camera is getting old and abused. So your top, that top rim right there is your 1/4 inch. That's for your jellies, okay? 1/2 inch is gonna be for your barbecue sauce and your pickles. Anything you pressure can, anything that goes in the pressure canner is always 1 inch headspace unless otherwise specified. If you're canning something else, like if you're doing raw chicken or something like that, that does not take a liquid. So that's a good rule of thumb that I follow. So I just go to that little 1/2 spot there, and then I can get your backing down. And that's how I measure my, there's lots of tools you can buy too. I had when I was first learning how to can. And we're gonna debubble it, even though it's a liquid. I debubble everything because if you're going through all this work, you just want to do it right. You want to be as clean as possible. With that saying, I dripped some barbecue sauce in my vinegar. So I'm gonna add some fresh here and put it on the other side of the other. So I don't do that. All right. I just use 5% vinegar. Okay, and then paper towel. Can you see that? Can you see that? All right, clean paper towel. So many times I see people just doing this and they don't ever clean their towel. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning this and you're not just wiping sauce over and over on your jars, okay? All right, and with that, I'm gonna add a lid. I'm gonna add a ring. I'm gonna use my towel here because this is super hot, fingertip tight. There we go. In the canner she goes. Alright, let's get out another one. We'll do another one together. So always make sure that the band faces me. I'm going to kind of scoot that over a little bit though. So let's scoot you over too. And hopefully it's all focused. Okay. Inch headspace. Go ahead and bubble. Okay. See how even if you try to be super clean, you're gonna get barbecue sauce. So change out your napkin often. Okay, see that? So the people I see just doing this on all 12 jars, you're not cleaning anything. So I add this to help you become a better canner, a cleaner canner, things that, you know, like I very, very seldom, rarely ever have a lid fail on me. And I really just, I credit it to just being very thorough. And when you're thorough, especially if you're new to canning and just get used to good canning, clean canning habits, you're not going to be able to stop. It's just going to be ingrained in you. You can pretty much do it in your sleep. Okay, there's another one. In the canner it goes now. For this next jar, I will jump you down and set you a little lower so you can get a kind of a different, hopefully, see, so I can see my bands right there. Make sure you guys are focused. Okay. Funnel. I always stir my barbecue sauce before I start canning another jar, just to make sure that everything's nice and mixed. Just a habit. Now I use this on everything from burgers, chicken, like chicken breast, chicken wings, chicken thighs, pork loin. I use it on smoked sausage. The butcher in town does fresh sausage, and I'll baste a little bit of this barbecue sauce on it. So good. Top of your meatloaf. The kids like to use it to dunk chicken tenders in. All right, we're gonna use a brush. What I do is I have those paper towels that, you know, you can cut in half. I cut them in half again, so really it's like a quarter. Okay. Right the rim. See that? I'll wipe it, switch it. Want to make sure you always clean your jars before you can, because you want to make sure that there's no chips, there's no cracks, there's no... I always touch my jars before I can them and take a good look at them. Okay. Now sometimes hairline cracks you can't see, so you can only do so much. So don't feel bad if, you know, if one cracks on you. Happens to all of us. It's a part of earning your canning queen stripes or canning king. I have a lot of men that follow me and can as well. Okay, I'm going to switch those bands so I can see. Hopefully you guys are focused. Okay, get my barbecue sauce stir. It smells so good in my house right now. I want to get this is one of those projects I want to get done before barbecue season so that I have barbecue sauce on my pantry shelf ready to go. Okay. Tea bubble, because it doesn't hurt. Paper towel. Clean. Okay. Good. Fingertip tight. In the canner it goes. All right, I'm going to keep going here, and I will bring you back when we are ready to process. Okay. Okay, so now we have all 8 jars in the canner. As you can see, I have my canner to the fill line there. I just do that, just good habit. So I'm going to put the lid on. We're going to process these for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I'm going to shut the canner off. I did turn it from high to canning. Once 20 minutes is up, I will turn it off the heat, take off the lid. I'll let it sit for 5 minutes, and then we'll pull these out of the canner. I do have clean jars over here. I do have some more barbecue sauce to can, but I'm not going to do that until I get this this first batch out. That way I can put those jars in and sterilize them. I still sterilize even though they say you don't need to. Again, just good canning habits. I've learned from the best canning queens here on YouTube, and I just keep those good habits. So when I get these out of the canner, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what they look like. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay, time to take them out of the canner. All right, let me get a cloth here. Okay, there's one. All right, hopefully, oh, let me flip it up. Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh yeah, you can you? You can. There you go. Okay. 3. 4. Okay. 5. 6. 7. Now, barbecue sauce can be canned in half pints or pints. I do pints because we usually use a pint when we're grilling. All right, let me take you down here, and I can show you how they all look. Beautiful. Even though it's very glary. Let's see. Should I turn off the light? Does that show up a little better? A little. So no siphoning on any of them. They're all perfect headspace, which as a canning queen, I like to challenge myself to good canning sessions. The water is absolutely beautiful. I do add a kerplunk of vinegar in my canning water because I am on a well. So I have well water, and it's very hard, even though we have a water softener and a whole house water filter. I still add in a little bit of that that vinegar just to prevent the white cloudiness that happens on your jars. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna finish this session up and hope I get 4 more jars. Want me to bring you back and let you know if I do or not? All right, hold on, because you're running out of batteries, so stay with jars in there. I'm gonna add just a bit more water to this and get these boiling, and then we'll get them filled, and we'll see if we can't get a solid 12. Oh, wouldn't that be exciting? Look at that. It got me right to an inch, and I had to really scrape. But we got 4. Oh, okay, so 4 is in. It is set to canning. I'm going to process these now, and I'll bring you back when I pull it. And I just mentioned how nice it is having a bigger sink. It just makes the work so much easier for me than to try to juggle in a very shallow sink that my pot won't fit in. This makes me so happy. We're just gonna keep filming until we run out of battery. You're almost done. All right. We were able to get 4 more. So that's a total of 12 going in the pantry. So if I do this recipe again, just the same as I did it, I should get, Lord willing, 24 pints of almost Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce in my pantry before spring. Oh, fantastic. Oh, so good. So good. So good, so good, so good. Okay. Okay, here we go. There we go. Those 4. Again, hopefully you can see it through the glare of the jars. Perfect headspace. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Canner, clean, pot washed, bowl washed. I gotta wash those now, and then hopefully, I don't know, I gotta schedule in dinner here. The kiddos. There's a ding, there's a little ping ping. I gotta get dinner going, and then I want to get this edited. So we'll see. We'll see if I can squeeze in another session. If not, maybe tomorrow morning. But 12 is going in my pantry, and I am one happy mama. All right, if you give this a try, let me know down below. Get it in your pantry before grilling and barbecue season comes. I'm so happy. I hope you enjoyed this, you guys. I love you. God bless, and I'll see you soon. Bye.